Hi there, welcome to the Old Guy Rules. If this is your first time on our channel, it would be a great time to subscribe. Set your notifications, share us and like us. Today, we're coming from TJ's, Terraza, Jardin in Los Gigantes. It's a fabulous little place. It's so unusual, I think you're going to love it. Come and take a look at TJ's. This edition of the Old Guy Rules is brought to you in association with Delmar, the premier estate agents in Los Gigantes. Now TJ's nestles at the base of the Hotel Los Gigantes, which is the biggest hotel in Los Gigantes. So if you blink, you might miss it. So when you find the Hotel Los Gigantes, just look for TJ's. It's a fabulous place. Right, I'm sitting here with the owner and operator here at TJ's, but actually it's not called TJ's, it's got a much fuller name than that.
Well, yeah, we wanted to keep the TJ's for people who remembered it as TJ's back in the day. So we kind of looked at what it was and called it Terrace Garden, but it's in Spanish, so it's Terraza, Jardin. A little bit confusing, but we like it.
Of course, like you said, 10 years ago, it's completely different from anything that people would associate with TJ's.
Exactly right. I mean, we started a lot of years ago with the family, and we did basically over the last 26 years, mostly what other bars have always done as well, and we've done everything that they've done, we've done that in our time. I wanted to put my own little stamp on it, and along with my girlfriend Susie, we decided to work a little bit more towards the style of service that we like, and maybe some people will go along with it.
So how long has TJ's been in its present format now?
In its present form, about 9 or 10 years, yeah. It's approaching to be 10 years this year, I think.
I think what you offer here is kind of unique in Los Gigantes. You can get a cocktail in most places, but the exacting recipes that you use, I think it sets you a little bit above the rest. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. I mean, it's hard for me to say because it's my place, but I understand how much training I went through. It would be disrespectful for me and the world-class professional bartenders that trained me initially in Chester in Cheshire to say that I didn't know really well what I was doing now, and there's a world of difference between just making cocktails and making really good mixologist drinks.
Well, I've drank in your, I'd like to call it a bar, but it's so much more than a bar.
Cocktail lounge.
No, do you know what I think it is? I think it's an experience.
I'd like to think so.
I mean, you come here, you're not going to expect what you get in all the other bars, including my own. Mm-hmm. You're going to get an experience, a taste experience.
Yeah, well, we try to focus that as well, because some people come in and they'd like to try new things. As you can tell, the gin explosion over the last few years in the UK, people are now trying lots of new stuff. So they'd like to try new things, but sometimes they're not quite sure. Some of the names of these cocktails or some of the ingredients kind of scare them off a little. So we can kind of find out what sort of things they would normally drink and kind of steer them towards that style of drink, but whilst trying something completely new, so that they can open their kind of little books of their own personal menus of what they like and what they will try in the future.
I'll tell you something else I like about your experience. I really can't call it a bar. I know that sounds a bit, but I cannot say it's a bar. It is an experience. What I like is I like the thought that's gone into everything,
Yeah.
from the decor, from the lighting,
Yeah.
from the sounds that you play.
Yeah.
It is a unique experience.
We do like to consider all of it. Some of it, some of it works absolutely faultlessly, and some of it, needs a little bit of explanation. Some of the ways we do things, and some of the drinks are a bit labour intensive to go out. It's just the way we would like them to be served to us, so that's the way we serve them. We don't cut corners with it, and we're very, very happy with the way it's turned out. Especially in this town, obviously Los Gigantes has a lot of history. It's very hard to try something completely new and not to look like you're trying to be pretentious. And that's something that's hard.
I would say, myself, I was sitting here a couple of weeks ago, and sometimes, because the recipes and the drinks that you make are exacting, it takes a little longer.
Of course it does,
and
yeah.
I was sat, and a group of people came to the next table, and one of your staff said, it's going to be about a 10-minute wait.
Exactly, yeah.
And they were just about to leave, and I says, no, stay,
Yeah.
because it is worth it.
They probably didn't quite realise how good it would be when it arrived. We won't cut corners on it, so it works.
I think my point here is, if you go to a bar,
Yeah.
you will get pulled a pint.
Exactly.
If you come here, you'll receive a recipe.
Exactly right. And we don't cut corners. Even when it's busy, we'll make sure that everything is still to the exact standards. My staff know this. They know in the back there, when we get absolutely snowed under sometimes, we'll have a group of 20 or 30 all together at the same time. If they're all wanting cocktails, it's going to take some time, but we won't cut corners, and every single one of them will go out as good as we could possibly make them. So obviously there's a delay, but trust me, they are worth waiting for.
Brilliant. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to take a look around your bar.
Fabulous.
There is really no other word, is there?
Call it a bar and let people be surprised.
Yeah. and then we're going to take a look at a few of your cocktails.
Fantastic.
So how many cocktails do you do?
So on the menu we have 63 cocktails. That's not how many I do. Honestly, it's like somebody once asked Prince how many songs does he know, or how many tunes can he play, and he said infinity. So I suppose everything's modifiable to a certain degree. We can change all sorts of recipes. This is a slight twist on a very well-known cocktail, an amaretto sour. This is a cherry amaretto sour, very simply changed with a little bit of cherry puree.
And every cocktail that you make is to an exacting recipe, isn't
Well, they've
it?
got to be, really, because I didn't invent them, so it wouldn't be fair on the master creator of such cocktails if I put my own twist on it and still called it the same thing.
So, where exactly did you learn to make cocktails?
So here's the thing: you can pick up cocktails and recipes off everybody, but to learn to be professional, you need to learn with the professionals. So I have worked in bars over 27 years now, but I didn't really know anything until I went back to do training in the UK, and then it's quite clear at that point how much you don't know when the professionals start to tell you things that you didn't know. So did a lot of training in the UK in Chester, in a very, very well-established cocktail bar in Chester. Still going very well also. And you learn a lot of great recipes there, but more so, you learn a lot of great understanding about why cocktails are made a certain way. It's not just about how to make them, it's about why they're made in certain ways, why you shouldn't mess with them, why the ingredients are put together as they are. It's important. It's like, anyone who bakes cakes, they don't just start throwing another couple of eggs in or a little bit more sugar. It's not going to come out correctly.
So mixology is more of an exacting science these days. It's not just a man behind a bar throwing drinks into a glass.
It's understanding your flavours, just like a chef would understand. You could take a chef and a cook. They could have the same ingredients. One will make a fabulous nouvelle cuisine dish. The other one will make steak and chips. So it's like, it's understanding the flavours so you can mix them and change them to requirements.
So I've noticed on your recipe, I wouldn't call it a menu. It's a recipe book. People can read exactly what's in it.
Well, not really so much. I mean, if you say about what's in it, some people put lists of things.
Yeah.
We decided to go a slightly different way with that, Eddie, because what I did, I put a description or a history of these drinks rather than putting a list of ingredients, because as being a mixologist, I understand what these things taste like together, but you can't assume that other people will. So it's almost like you don't want to scare people off by saying, I don't like gin, so I won't have that. Let's describe the flavours, let's describe the textures of it, and see if that can get them onto it. So
makes more sense, really, because I would imagine that every single time you produce a cocktail, it's exactly the same.
Exactly right. It should be the same last week as it will be in 2 weeks' time. This is why, in the UK, proper bartenders, professional bartenders are pour tested as to how accurate their pours are through the pour spouts. It's something that was absolutely a religious law for them to make sure that everything was right, not only for the profits of the business. They're using products and high quality products to make sure that the ingredients were always the same. The cocktail should be the same every single time. It's not for you to say, oh, I'll put a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. Like I say, it's like baking a cake. If you start throwing extra bits in, it's not going to be the right cake.
Even before people start to arrive here at TJ's for the evening, the exacting measures emanate throughout the building. Everything has a place, and everything has to be in its place. It's a reflection on how perfect the attention to detail and the service is here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you're going to create one of your signature cocktails.
Yes, absolutely.
What's this called?
Okay, well, I'm here with Eddie Hastings. We're just going to start one of our signature cocktails. This is an elderflower pink lady. So it's a twist on a white lady, which is quite a well-known classic cocktail that obviously has an exacting recipe from back in the day. Okay, so we have a specific measure of things, as we always do here, poured to perfection by our master bartenders. I shall demonstrate as such. So we have a certain amount of spirits that go into every cocktail. That will be exactly that. So you've got a certain amount of spirits, so you've got a gin and a triple sec, so we use a Gordon's gin here, we use a triple sec Cointreau. But as every cocktail recipe will work on a classic formula of 4 parts strong, 3 parts weak, 2 parts sour and 1 part sweet. So we have sours, which is a lemon juice. Okay, what we also have in here in us is a emulsifier, which will help the actual flavour come all the way through. Believe it or not, is a fresh egg white. Who knew? All the way in there, absolutely fantastic that. A little bit of elderflower cordial. And these are the parts sweets that go in there as well. A little bit of grenadine to give it the right colour. A little bit of sugar syrup with the lid off. A little bit of sugar syrup in there just to finish it all off. So what we do with this, as far as it needs emulsifying with it being egg white, we give it a dry shake first of all, which means you've no ice. That's almost like creating meringue. And people always say a bit of egg white in a drink, it's a little bit funny. But as soon as you mix that with sugar, it becomes a meringue. Mix that in with everything else and all the flavours. We can see we've emulsified that well enough. What we then do is we'll then shake it in the classic way over ice. shaking it does, it mixes it, aerates it, gradually dilutes it. So as we talked before with Eddie about measures and things like that, the reason why we measure certain things, we're using fantastic products here. We don't use low-class local spirits, we only use premium products in here. So in order to make sure that we're getting the full flavours of them, we use exacting standards to make sure that they come out as they should every single time. So hopefully if you get one of these cocktails tomorrow or last week or next week or in 2 weeks' time, it should be exactly the same every single time. We try to make sure that everything that's been in the tin goes in the glass, otherwise how do you know you've got what you ordered? That's set with a lovely little foamy top, and what you'll find with that as well, as you drink it, it'll be a nice little smooth texture, little velvety texture. It won't taste of fried eggs, even though it's got egg white in it. It'll taste like a little floury cake mix with elderflowers and lemon. And what we've done over here, over the top, we've got some dehydrated crushed strawberries, just to finish it off. How does that look, Eddie? How does it look?
Do you know, it actually looks like I could take a bath in that.
Well, I'd love to. It's probably big enough for me.
It's fantastic.
So that's one of the many styles of drinks that we do here. Obviously, we do have 63 cocktails on our menu. It doesn't mean we do 63 cocktails. That's kind of like a guide. And like I was speaking with Eddie before, we don't like to put the ingredients of the cocktails on the menu. First of all, if somebody's going to copy them and make them badly, I'd be very upset. Secondly, it's sometimes people can be afraid of some of the ingredients that are in there. Oh, I don't like gin, so I won't have that, or I don't like vodka, so I won't have that. Rather, you try them for the expressions of the flavours that we try to put on there and try to show what they can taste like, or they have a great histories or little stories. So we try and get the menu to read like a little storybook of great products as well. It's something I've learned a lot about in the last 15 or so years.
So there we are, an evening spent at TJ's. It's absolutely brilliant. I know you can get cocktails from most bars and restaurants and hotels, but for me it was great spending time with a guy who's been and studied his trade. Now, all the details about TJ's will be down below in the description box. So that's about it from the Old Guy Rules this time. Don't forget to subscribe, set your notifications, like us, and of course share us with your friends. Until the next time, I've been Eddie Hastings. Be good.